The last test that we wrote gave us a really good pattern for asserting that something goes wrong when we attempt to call a function. We tried to call enter, and then we asserted that either something went wrong or something went right between these two assert statements. We can now use a very similar pattern to try to test our pick-winner function. In particular, I want to make sure that if someone other than the manager attempts to call pick-winner, an error should be thrown. So if some random person calls pick-winner, we're going to run the restricted function modifier, and that should kick us out of the function call. So let's give it a shot. We're going to use the exact same try-catch type syntax that we used in the last test to test out the pick-winner function. I'll first start off by placing our it statement, and for this one we'll give a description of something like only manager can call pick-winner. Then we'll place our async keyword and open up our function. Now, something to be aware of here is that we don't actually have to enter into the contract this time around. So even though normally we would say, okay, let's enter into the contract and then attempt to pick a winner, as far as the restricted modifier here goes, it has absolutely nothing to do with the number of players who have entered into a contract. So we don't have to call enter ahead of time. We can simply call pick winner and then assert that something went wrong and that calling the function threw an error. That's all. So inside the it statement, we'll place our try block. We'll say await lottery.methods.pickWinner.send. And then inside the send, so this transaction object or the transaction options that we're going to provide, we're going to specifically say that this is coming from accounts at 1. So this is not the manager right here. This is something else. Then immediately after that, we can attempt to assert false, just like we did before. Remember, assert false right here, its entire purpose is to just say if we get to this line of code, automatically fail the test no matter what. Then we'll place our catch, we'll receive the error object, and we will assert that the error exists, like so. All right, so that's pretty much it. Again, we don't have to enter into the contract before calling pick winner. We can just immediately call pick winner, and because of the way we wrote the contract, we should immediately get kicked out because of the restricted modifier. So let's give this a test at our terminal. I'll run npm run test, just as we have several times before, and we'll wait a couple seconds for the compilation process. Now, one thing I want to throw out there regarding this test that we've written is that if you have worked with the assert module from Node before, you might be aware that the assert module has a helper for catching functions that throw an error. We're not using that here because the async await syntax does not work nicely with that built-in helper on the assert module. Now, that might sound like a mystery to you. I just mention it if you are aware of the function throw helper that is included in the assert module. I just want to throw it out there. All right, so back over at a terminal, it looks like that test is passing. Cool, so let's continue with one or two more tests in the next video.